Well, good evening, church family. It is Wednesday, April 22nd. At least I think it is. Last I checked, the days all kind of blur together at this point. But I do hope you know that you are again loved and that your presence is missed. And I hope we're all doing well and staying safe and doing our part to stay safe, as we all continue to look forward to our time spent together in person again, which actually might be sooner rather than later, or at least sooner than some of us had expected. I know that Governor Asa Hutchinson and some other Arkansas officials are, I believe, aiming for May the 4th to be the goal date to maybe open up some of the state back, kind of take it in sections. But I do think that May 4th is a goal they are shooting for, to reopen some of the businesses that are, of course, closed due to this COVID-19 pandemic that's reaching all over the world. And this is pretty big news. We finally have a point on the horizon we can look for maybe to get back a sense of what we used to know. And it's coming up pretty soon, less than 2 weeks away. I believe it was 2 weeks from this past Monday of this week, and people are talking about this. People are excited about it. People are mentioning all the things that they're wanting to go do, the stuff that they are, places they're going to go. I hope it's not too noticeable. I'm in pretty desperate need of a haircut, so that'll be one of the places I'll be looking forward to going back to, as well as, like I'm sure many of you, going back to eat at a Mexican restaurant. I haven't had my chips and salsa in a long time, so I'm very much looking forward to that. But people are excited, and people are talking about the possibility of getting to do things that we haven't done in a long time, which is great. But I do hope that as we enter into this new era, that we are still cautious and take the proper precautions as we move forward. I'm a pretty cautious person naturally. I tend to err on the side of caution, so that's just the context of where I'm coming from looking at this situation. And I do hope that we can, of course, take the necessary precautions as we go about this, because, like Brother Doug mentioned in our emails this past week, just because stuff gets opened back up, the virus is still out there. It hasn't gone away. This is just a step forward to our new future, as it were. With all the people coming back together and mingling and whatnot, the virus could easily spike back up, a second wave, as it were, of infected patients with COVID-19. So just again, as we enter this new era, just make sure that you stay up to date, do stay informed, and ultimately make the decisions that are best for you and your families, and that you, above all, feel comfortable with. In situations like these, there are some verses that I like to turn to that don't exactly apply, but they do help me in kind of gauging, how I need to act when presented with situations like these. One of them is Proverbs 14:29. Whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. And then James 1:19 basically says the same thing. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. So, like I said, the verses don't exactly apply here. They're a little out of context. They're more referencing how if someone treats you poorly, or if you find yourself in a situation that you might not agree with, how you need to act based on that. Don't rush in with your emotions on your sleeve out of pure anger, but, take a step back and have patience and think things through before you act. And again, while not exactly a one-to-one applicable verse there, I do think the principles can be applied here. We have a situation presented in front of us that how we act based on it could determine our future and how we move forward as not just a state or a country or nation, but as a world. So, again, maybe I am overly cautious in this situation, but I would just hate for us to lose everything we've worked for and progressed for and sacrificed over the past few weeks and months, just to have that, thrown away in the blink of an eye because some people didn't really know how to properly implement patience, as it were. So, again, as things perhaps begin to change over the next couple of weeks and months, however long this transition period takes, I just want to encourage us to take things at your pace. Do do things that are best for you and your family, make decisions that are best for you and your family, whatever you feel comfortable with moving forward. Don't let peer pressure affect the decisions that you make. If everybody else is going out doing things and you still don't feel quite comfortable doing that, then don't. There's no harm, no shame in doing what's best for you and your family in these situations. And if you do feel comfortable heading out as soon as they open up the gates, then go for it. But again, just do what is best for you and your family in this situation. And others. Do be courteous of others and their decisions, the decisions that they make in these situations. If somebody decides not to go out, don't shame or berate them for not doing so. And if someone does decide to do so and they feel comfortable with it, just think of what's best for others and them as they make these decisions in this strange new time, because the world's not going to be the same after this. You might have heard people saying that we want to get back to get things back to normal, as it were. Well, I don't think there is any going back to normal. At least I hope there's not. I think this whole situation has hopefully identified some things that we need to work on, that we might need to change. I know, for example, our medical officers and workers and teachers deserve a lot more than I think we were giving them, as we've seen as this situation has unfolded. So instead of aiming to go back to normal, I think we are instead aiming to figure out what our new normal is in this, I don't want to say post-COVID-19 world, because it will still be out there, but and just however we are dealing with these situations, looking for our new normal, our new ways of coping with life. But whatever the situation, however it unfolds over the next few weeks or months, or however long this transition period takes, as Christians, I hope that we are showing patience and understanding and compassion to those who are dealing with a very new and scary situation as we adjust to our new normal in society. And again, I know I'm preaching to the choir this morning, or this evening. It's morning for me. Our Southside family is wonderful at this, I know, but this situation has brought out the worst in people, and I just want us to be aware of that as we're moving forward into a new part of our lives. I know there are many people who see this whole COVID-19 pandemic and quarantine situation as nothing more than a hoax. As though it doesn't exist, and it's just the government, showing off its power and whatnot, imposing on the people. And the people like that are out protesting that things go back to normal, so they can go back to getting haircuts and going out to eat fast food and whatnot. In a way, them out protesting altogether has done nothing but make the situation worse, because again, they're out not following the safety protocols and just increasing the risk of this virus picking up again. But I saw something this morning that really, it really struck me in a not good way. I was on Twitter again, and you know how that goes, but I saw that there was a protest like this of people who want things to go back to normal, that this quarantine needs to stop, that the COVID-19 does not exist. They were out protesting in Nashville, Tennessee, and one of the protesters had a sign that was there on the news I saw, and the sign had written on it, "Sacrifice the weak, reopen Tennessee." And again, I kind of sat there dumbfounded in that this person is willing to open everything back up and let the virus just pick off those that they've deemed inferior, just so they can go sit in a McDonald's again or get a haircut. It's just, it seems so cruel and evil, and I don't know, what if the weak in that situation had been one of their family members? Would they still have that sign up? Would they still be protesting these things? It just kind of baffled me. I just thought, what kind of human being would not only think that thought, but actually take the time to write it out on a sign and parade it in front of hundreds of thousands of people? It's just, I don't know. I almost feel like I need to start reworking my sermon for this Sunday to address the evil that is there, that people are seeing all over the place, because we know that that is evil, and that Satan does have great sway over the hearts of men in this world, and the desires and what we do, the great evil that is in this world. And this world's going to have a lot of adjustments to go through as we enter our new normal. It's going to be very challenging. It's going to be very trying. We are going to face challenges that I don't think we have faced before. And again, I know I'm speaking to the choir here. I hope and pray and know none of us would ever engage in such evil sayings as that. I can't imagine we would anyway, but I just want us to be aware and prepared as we enter this new phase of life that we are going to be dealing with some pretty nasty things, some things we have not had to deal with before, potentially anyway. And I just want us to be encouraged that, whatever is thrown at us, whatever we find ourselves facing down as we enter our new normals, that we would be positive lights in this very dark and evil and scared world that is intent on sacrificing others to get what they want. You sometimes hear people talking about how they are Christians, and then you see them act a certain way, and it makes you question, are you really a Christian? It makes you wonder, and I don't want that to be us. I want people to really see who the church is and what we're about and what we are capable of, and just show that compassion and encouragement and love that I think the world really needs right now. On a more positive note, yesterday on Twitter, I saw Brother Chris McCurley. If you want a positive light on Twitter, I'd highly recommend following him. He is great. He tweeted, "Don't be a jerk for Jesus. It's really that simple. You are the bride of Christ. Don't be ugly." And I hope and pray none of us need to hear that as an attitude adjuster. But I would like for us to hear it just to be reminded and encouraged that we are the bride of Christ, that we do have a higher and nobler calling than the world has. The world is scared, and when things go bad, they scramble and backstab to keep themselves alive. Sacrifice the weak for their own personal gain, as we've seen here. But I do pray that as Christians we will be patient, and we will be kind and caring as we enter this bold new world. And whatever challenges that we face, know that we serve a God who is greater than anything the world can throw at us, and who has already conquered anything that the world could hope to throw our way. I want to thank you all again for your time and attention this evening. I hope you were able to gain some new insight, some bit of encouragement or reinforcement from our very brief devotional thoughts on Wednesday nights. We will be watching and monitoring the news as decisions are made, so that we can in turn be making the best decisions moving forward for our church family, the best decisions for our congregation. And I want to encourage anybody, if anybody needs anything to do, please reach out to any of us and let us know, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in whatever way we can. But I want to thank you again. I'm praying for you all continuously. I hope we're all, again, doing well. And Lord willing, I'll see you all on Sunday morning.